Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you guys are new. I thought today I would film this random get ready with me video from a different angle. I have mostly completed my gallery wall. If I move my head, you can see I have a couple empty frames, but I'm liking how it's turning out so far. And I thought that I would go ahead and film from this direction. Now that I have a much larger vanity, I have a lot more surface space, which is so nice to be able to fit everything I've got going on here with a couple of lights and then the tripod. And I have to shout out this really cool mirror that I found. I am so excited about this. I was searching nonstop for a really good desktop mirror because if you guys saw my vanity video recently, you know that this vanity has a lot of depth to it. So between here and my mirror that's on the wall, it's like really far away actually. So I wanted one a little bit closer up, and I'm loving this one. So I found it on Amazon, and you charge it, so it doesn't have a plug. I can pick it up and move it wherever I want to, and it just looks so sleek in my opinion. And also, this is not like sponsored or anything. I just really like this and it took me forever to find one. So if you're looking for one similar, I just wanted to share it because it was right here. I don't know. But you can change the colors. You can also like hold it down and change just how dull or bright it is. You can make it really bright too. So I didn't even have it up all the way bright, but now it is. And it's so nice. I've been really enjoying it. And then on the back, it has like the magnifying mirror, which I don't know that I'll really use very often, but I don't know, maybe I'll use it for something. But yeah, I'm really excited about it. It also had like a coupon on Amazon where you could save like 20% or something. So it was about like $30 or $35, which I felt like was a really decent price, and it feels really good quality. I'm really enjoying it. I don't know why I just felt the need to tell you guys that in the beginning of this video, but I will be using that mirror today to put my makeup on for this random get ready with me video. My dog is chilling with us. If you hear my dog in the background, she's just getting comfy on the couch. But if you guys are familiar with this jar, I have a bunch of random makeup related topics in this jar. And I made this jar a long time ago, so honestly, I don't even know most of what's in here. And I always just pick one at random for this video, and then based on what I pull, I have to create a makeup look that has that. So let's just go ahead and pull a topic. Let's go for this one. This one says, oh, okay, follow or recreate a look from a content creator. And it says specifically YouTube. So now I gotta think, like, whose look have I seen recently? To be honest, I've been watching a lot of non-makeup YouTubers. Specifically a lot of like thrifting videos and home videos. So I think I'm going to go see if my iPad has any battery on it so we can scroll together. I'll be right back. I'm thinking of like the videos that I've been watching lately. I know Mikkel Jancy was, actually I guess she just got married like a couple days ago when I'm filming this, but she did like a makeup trial run and it was so pretty. I've also been watching Haley's Corner a lot, and there's something about someone's makeup who's not into makeup that I really like. I don't know if that's gonna make any sense, but, and not to say that non-makeup YouTubers like aren't into makeup, but that's not like the sole focus of their channel. They don't really talk about it very much. And there's just something about it when I see someone have like a typical makeup look on that's not like how I like to do my makeup, that's like super glitzy and glam and just shimmery and pink usually. So I'm kind of thinking I just want to create a look similar to people that I've been watching lately. I don't know. And I was really hoping I would pull a topic that I would be able to use this brand new palette to my collection in. I asked you guys if you could guess which palette I bought, and I will show you today because it just came in the mail. I decided to pick up another Viseart palette. So this is the one that I got. It's called the Minx Et, I believe. And it's just like a more warm toned version than the Cashmere palette that I have. Yeah, Minx Et. And I feel like this is a perfect palette to be able to use to create like a typical makeup look. And I also think I want to do like a winged liner. So yeah, I feel like I would be able to use some of these shades, especially some matte tone shades, but let me actually find like a specific look of someone's I would want to do. I don't think I want to do Mikkel's, even though her makeup, like her wedding trial makeup, looked gorgeous. It is currently almost 8 o'clock at night. I'm not going anywhere, so I would hate to like really put in that kind of effort and then not wear it anywhere. Let's see what Haley's makeup looked like in this one. I had my YouTube settings on double speed. I must have been watching back one of my videos. That's how I watch back all my videos. Okay, it doesn't look like she actually has any eyeshadow on in this video. I just love how fresh her looks. I swear, sometimes like literally I can't tell if she has makeup on. She's so pretty. Oh my gosh. Okay, I really want to try her makeup look. She is so gorgeous, and I will say her skin is a lot more tan than mine, so I'm not sure if my look will turn out exactly like hers, but I'm gonna really lean into like some warm tones and try to recreate her makeup here. I'm gonna try and get a good screenshot of it. Okay, so I think I have an idea of what I'm going for. I'm just gonna go ahead and start. I feel like her makeup always looks so pretty and like classic in a way that you can tell, you know, she's not adding like a ton of makeup. It doesn't look cakey. It looks very natural, but I just think it looks beautiful. It's a little bit radiant, but it's not like dripping wet dewy, you know what I mean? She does have naturally very large brows in comparison to what I feel like I have. So I'm going to try and play into that and create a little bit more of a bold brow look. It's almost like, well, on her face shape, I feel like that really shapes her face and like completes her makeup look, whereas my eyebrows are a little bit less of a focal point in my opinion on my face, just because they're a little bit more like sparse. I have to fill them in. So I'm going to try, especially because I need to get my eyebrows threaded, to let them kind of be a big part of the look. We'll see. I don't know. I'm not 100%. Okay, so I'm actually going to go ahead and start out with the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. And I'm not 100% sure that I'm not going to dip into any of my Shop My Stash products, but for the most part, I'm going to dip into what I still have in my Vanity. So that way we're just kind of switching up the products a little bit for the videos that you guys are going to see. But I'm going to start out with this primer. It's definitely gripping, but it is a little bit hydrating as well, or at least it's going to give the appearance of a hydrated primer. I would say the main, you know, attribute of this primer is that it's very grippy and sticky. Did you guys see the e.l.f. commercial with the Suits characters in the Super Bowl? I actually really liked that. I feel like that was one of my favorites. I was so sad to see all the Temu commercials. I'm like, oh my gosh. I wish people would stop supporting and buying from Temu and Shein and stuff. Just as a blanket statement, I know sometimes there are exceptions, you know, if that's what you can afford, then fine. But it just makes me so sad because there's just like no possible way that those labor conditions are good. But yeah, you can see just how sticky this primer is, but it definitely gives a bit of a glow to the skin, and I feel like Haley's skin definitely has a good bit of like a radiant quality to it, but it's not like overwhelming or anything. And I feel like I'm going to hopefully achieve the rest of that glow with a setting spray later on. Okay, I think for foundation I'm going to use this one from ColourPop. This is the Pretty Fresh foundation, and Haley's skin just looks kind of like it has maybe like a medium light coverage foundation on. I also don't think that Haley has a lot of redness on her skin from what I've noticed, or at least I've never noticed any, but I do have a lot of redness on my skin, especially on my cheeks. I would really like to cover that up for today's look because I think that Haley's complexion looks very kind of even and well covered and well blended out, so that's what I'm going to go for as well. Also, if you guys have not checked out Haley's channel, I'm going to have her link down below. Her channel link down below. She does a lot of thrifting videos. I've also been really enjoying her family content because her and her family are actually Jewish, and so I've been learning a lot about just their culture and how they do things a little bit differently than what I'm used to, and they keep kosher and everything, so I've been learning a lot about that, which I just find really interesting. But I love her channel. She's so positive, and I always feel so inspired when I watch her content. So this is actually a really fun way to be able to kind of show you guys one of my recent favorite creators. I just found her channel actually in the beginning of January, about a month ago now, and I have seen so many of her videos already. I've been really enjoying all of her content. Even just today I was watching videos from years ago. The video that I'm referring to right now is from 3 years ago, and yeah, it was from February of 2020, so almost 4 years ago. I don't know why it says 3 years ago. So I'm adding another layer of the Pretty Fresh foundation. I definitely don't you know, want it to look cakey or anything, but I do want to cover up some of this redness going on, and I just have quite a bit of it, so gotta kind of layer up a little bit. I'm gonna use the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer because I feel like it'll give me a little bit more coverage, especially on those red areas. This redness here is just honestly so difficult to get rid of, so I'm just gonna try and kind of target that area with concealer. Yeah, I feel like that's definitely better. And I'm also gonna use this concealer on the under eyes and just anywhere that I would normally put concealer. Sometimes it's the simplest of looks that I feel super inspired by, which is what I really love about this look from Hailey, because this is probably something similar to her everyday type of makeup look, and there's just something so beautiful in that. It's a feeling that I've had for a really long time, how like every single day I like to change up my makeup, and so I don't feel like I have like a signature look by any means, but I could tell you what a lot of other people's signature looks are who, you know, aren't as into trying new makeup every day as I am and changing things up. And I honestly think that it's really nice to just have a signature, you know, look about you. And I think that that's something that sometimes I wish that I had, but as much as I sometimes wish that, I always continue to try new things every day and wear a different, you know, shimmery shade on the lid, or at least a different bronzer or blush. I just enjoy that process in the morning, getting ready for the day and choosing different products. But something like this I just think is so beautiful on her, and I'm really excited to try it today. Okay, I actually feel like the foundation and everything on my skin is sitting really nicely. Hopefully it's showing up on camera like it is in person, but I'm really happy with how it's looking. I feel like it looks very even. Now, granted, my skin tone is a lot lighter than Hailey's, so it's not gonna look exactly the same, but that's fine. We're different people. That's not what I'm trying to do, because if I used products that were her skin tone on me, it would look like very orange and very tan and unnatural, but obviously it doesn't look like that on her. So I'm just going to be adapting her makeup style to what will work for me and my skin tone. So it doesn't look like she has any like super brightening concealer on under the eyes, which is my preference. I prefer a concealer that matches the rest of my face versus being lighter on the under eyes. I think it might just be because I'm really pale. I don't want to use like a paper white product. I mean, like I hardly ever wear white, even though I'm wearing it today in this top, because I feel like my skin is so close to that shade that a lot of times white or brightening products aren't as flattering on me. So I'm glad that her base makeup seems to be like all the same shade as far as her foundation and concealer go. For powder, I'm going to use this one from number 7 because it's the only one that I have that's not in my Shop My Stash, and I just kind of want to use different products. So I'm going to set the under eye area with this, and I'm also going to go ahead and set the eyelid. I'm just going to let the brush kind of blend out the concealer. Hopefully that's underneath the eyes, a little bit creased up and in the crease of the eyelid. And I'm just going to use this to set down on the center of the face. Okay, even though in the car photo of Hailey, her skin is very warm toned, in the other clip, I do feel like her cheekbones are very well defined. So I'm actually going to use a little bit of this Hailey's Powder Contour, and then I'll use bronzer after that. And I don't want to use a ton of this, but I do just want to add a little bit of that underneath the cheekbones before I add bronzer. I'm also going to add a little bit of this contour to the nose as well. Okay, for bronzer, I'm going to use this one from Milani. This is the Silky Matte Bronzer in Sunlight. And I can't quite tell if it's just that her skin is so bronzy and tan naturally, or if she does use bronzer, but to achieve a similar effect, I am going to add a decent amount of bronzer because I clearly am not naturally tan and bronzed by any stretch of the imagination. So we're gonna have to kind of fake that part. This bronzer is a little bit more of a neutral tone, so I've added quite a bit of that, but I'm also going to go ahead and add just a hint of this bronzer as well from Spectrum. I say just a hint, but we'll see how it goes. I might add more. This is what I would consider to be my most bronzy type of a bronzer. It is the deepest bronzer shade and most warm tone. Well, it's really just the most warm tone bronzer shade. I also feel like my lights are washing me out a little bit, but I don't know. I feel like my skin actually is looking more bronze in person than on camera. I'll try to show you guys before the end of this how it's really looking for me. But sometimes it's just hard to show that on camera. I feel like it's so much more warm in person than what you guys are seeing, but I'm gonna have to just kind of keep rolling, I think. Okay, I'm gonna have to use this blush from my Shop My Stash. You guys know this is my favorite blush, but this is the Patrick Ta She's So LA, and I feel like this will give me like a really good base, and then I might could add the Bare Minerals like peachy tone blush that I have. I don't know, I definitely need something peachy, but I don't know that like super orange is the way to go as just the only blush. So I'm thinking a combo of these would give me what I'm wanting. So let's try that. So I'm gonna start out with the powder from the She's So LA blush, and I'm going to add that. And I am gonna bring this across the nose. Again, I'm not sure if this is just like because she's so naturally tan or what, but I feel like it will give me a similar effect. And I'm gonna have to figure out the sliding because my skin's looking a lot more warm tone in person. I'm starting to get like that same sort of tan, sort of peachy, bronzy sort of a look in person as to what the picture looks like to me. I'm gonna pick up a little bit of this powder bronzer from Bare Minerals. This is in the shade That Peach though, by the way. And I'm gonna add that right on top of She's So LA. And then with my sponge, I'm just gonna go over everything. And this is another one of those instances where right now I feel like I have on probably a lot more makeup than Haley does, at least by the looks of it in this clip. But again, I have a lot of redness on the skin, so I wanted to make sure to cover that up. And I also felt like I needed to add quite a bit of bronzer and blush to give me that same sort of flush, as I don't have it naturally. But that's the beauty of makeup, because you can just have it without, you know, being born with it. So I can put a little bit of, you know, a peachy blush on when I want to look a little bit more warm toned. I feel like the perfect highlight to recreate this look from Haley is going to be this Fenty Beauty highlight duo. I have the Kilowatt highlight duo in Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal, and I specifically feel like this one's going to be so pretty because it doesn't look like a highlight on the skin. It just looks like an internal sort of a glow, and that's what I'm getting from her look. I think it looks so beautiful on her. Only problem is I don't exactly have a clean highlight brush that doesn't have anything in it, so I'm going to try and wipe it off first. And I mostly want to pick up the shade without any shimmer in it. Sometimes I feel like this one doesn't have a lot of payoff to it, but I'm going to hope that it will today. Oh yeah, that's pretty. Hope you guys can see kind of how it's looking. It just gives like a really nice glow without looking like a highlight. I definitely feel like she has a little bit on the tip of her nose maybe. And then otherwise it just feels like the very front of her cheeks actually have this really pretty glow to them. I actually feel like this is looking so pretty on the skin. I feel like for some reason it's looking a little bit more muddy. Okay, I feel like with this light you actually can see what my makeup looks like way more than without it. It's obviously just a little bit of a darker kind of ambiance without this light. So this is really what, you know, the cheek makeup especially is looking like, how I'm seeing it. It's a lot more peachy, just like you're seeing it right now. Can I put that light somewhere? Yeah, that looks way more like how I'm seeing it in my makeup. So I have so many lights on right now, but that's just like, that's the best thing I can do to show you guys how it actually looks. I also think with a pretty light hand, I'm gonna add just a little bit of the highlight to my forehead area, which I usually wouldn't do, but I definitely feel like she just has like a glow kind of all over her skin. So I'm gonna add it back a little bit with this highlight, and that might just be a natural glow after her makeup has really sunken into her skin, but I'm going to kind of emphasize that and then go over everything again with my sponge. And then to kind of give me that all over glow, I also want to go ahead and use some of this ColourPop Pretty Fresh setting spray. This is the best setting spray in my opinion for giving you just that kind of melted together glowy sort of a look. It also smells so good, so that's always a benefit. But yeah, it always looks very glowy right at first, but as it dries a little bit, it will settle down. There's just a lot of product right now. I kind of forgot how aggressive that mister is. It's not aggressive, like really, but I've been using the Cali Ray one, and it is like not very, it doesn't spread a lot of product at once. I feel like I just used way too much of that, but that's okay. I feel like that's giving me really like the glow, but you can see as you really set into the skin, it's not as like aggressively glowy. Okay, I really want to use this new palette, so I'm going to dip into this. And also, by the way, I'm going to put this in my Shop My Stash rotation because it's brand new and I'm so excited to use it. And I just want to use it more. So I'm going to dip into this just a little bit. I don't think Haley has any like shimmer shades or anything on the lid. I could be mistaken, but from watching the intro over a couple of times, it seems like maybe she honestly probably just has like maybe one eyeshadow in the crease or something, or maybe even a bronzer, but I want to dip into this, so I'm going to kind of make it work. So I'm going to start out with the lightest shade from this palette from Viseart, and I'm just going to put this in the crease and just kind of everywhere, all over the lid and up into the brow. And then I'm going to start as far as the peachy shade goes, and then I'm going to pick up this light kind of peachy shade. This seems like it might be more of a satin versus a complete matte shade, but I'm feeling like that tone's going to work really well for what I'm wanting. Yeah, that's adding just a little bit of warmth to the lid. Also in person, my complexion is looking really, really nice, and I think it's that combo of the e.l.f. primer and then the ColourPop Pretty Fresh foundation. I'm really liking that. I'm also going to pull this shade on the lower lash line. I'm going ahead and putting this shade kind of everywhere, like all over the lid, into the crease and everything. And this actually might be the only shade that I even add, because looking at her skin, this is pretty much looking, in my opinion, like what her eyelids look like. So yeah, I feel like that just added like the smallest amount of peachiness to the lids, which is really what I feel like she has. It's very subtle, very pretty. Hers might be like slightly more orange, but since I am so fair-skinned, I feel like this is a nice kind of option for a similar effect. The only other thing I think I'm going to do is add a little bit of this Patrick Ta blush to the look as well. I'm just going to pick up a little bit with an eyeshadow brush and then add that to the crease. Okay, let's do the brows, which I'm a little nervous about. I actually just used up my brow pencil, so I don't have one. So I'm gonna have to really make these brows work with my brow marker. I think I'm gonna start out with the e.l.f. Wow Brow. I don't have very many brow products to choose from in my collection, so I'm gonna just have to use what I have. But I feel like this is going to fluff up my brows more than anything, just on its own. And Haley does have very fluffy eyebrows. Can you guys tell I need to get mine threaded? They're a little much for me right now. Okay, this is definitely out of my comfort zone, not gonna lie, but I'm gonna go ahead and use the NYX Lift and Snatch brow pen in the shade Ash Brown, and I'm going to kind of fill them in a little bit. Hopefully make the end of them look a little bit better. And then fill in the front part as well, which I'm not feeling super confident in right now, to be honest. I usually fill in the front part to be slightly slimmer almost, so that way it kind of tames them. But today, I don't think I'm gonna do that. I used to wear like really bad block eyebrows. And I think that's why I'm a little bit scarred to wear bold eyebrows, because I really did have some bad looking brows. I thought they looked so fine too. I'm not gonna say I thought they looked good, but I didn't think there was anything wrong with them. That's about as bold as I feel like I can do with my eyebrows, and that, let me tell you, that's pretty bold for my brow. Let me go ahead and catch the other one up to speed. And mine are just messy, okay? Like mine need to be threaded because the shape is no longer there. Haley's are like very well shaped and they obviously fit her face really well. So, you know, just because I don't like them on me doesn't mean they don't look great on her. Okay, wow. I feel like I don't even look like myself. Now I feel like, okay, I really need mascara added. I don't think she has on any eyeliner. I'm gonna go back to the video and try to see. Yeah, she does have a little winged liner, I think. I feel like she does have a hint of pink blush on too. And again, I feel like my skin is just a little bit more washed out than it is in person, but I promise it's just a little bit more peachy in person, especially on the cheeks. But what I'm gonna do is go ahead and add a little bit more of the peachy blush so that hopefully you guys can actually see it, because to be honest, I'm not going anywhere after this. So I would like for you guys to be able to see the effect. of what I'm seeing. So I'm going to try and make it look kind of how I was seeing it in person for you guys. I'm going to add a little bit of this Milani blush in this shade Bella Bellini. I'm going to add like a tiny bit of it just to the very high points of the cheek as a blush, because I feel like she has like a little hint of pink when she like turns her head a little bit. So I'm going to go for that. But yeah. And then again, I'm going to go over the cheeks with the sponge. Also, it is pouring down rain. So if you guys can hear that, that's what that is. Oh my gosh, I really like this. Okay, like I said, she does have an eyeliner on. I'm trying to decide if I should use a brown liner or a black one, because she has a black liner on. But again, I am so fair skinned. But again, I also only have black mascara, so I might as well do the black liner. I don't really like either one of these liquid liners, unfortunately. They're just a little bit more stiff, if I'm remembering right. I really want the e.l.f. H2O proof eyeliner pen in my collection again, because that is my favorite one. But that's okay, we're gonna use what we have. And I'm gonna have to focus for this, so there's no way I'm gonna be able to talk. Oh, this one's just way, way, way too stiff. How am I supposed to use that? That was the Maybelline one. I'm gonna try the Kaja one. I feel like I liked this one a bit better. Anyone else? I mean, she has like the thinnest little wing in this. I'm doing that thing where you keep trying to fix it and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. I'm gonna have to leave it at that. But I'm having a hard time with these eyeliner pens. They are not the most user-friendly for me, so I'm gonna do the best I can. Now, why was I able to draw that one so much thinner? Okay, as always, they're never even. That's okay. I did my best. Yeah, I just have a really hard time because both of these eyeliner pens are like extremely stiff, and I find them really hard to draw the perfect liner. But that's okay, again, that's what I have, so it's gonna be fine. It also looks like her eyelashes are curled up a little bit, or they could just naturally be like that, but mine definitely are not, so I'm going to curl up my lashes. And her lashes seem to be like pretty long, but they're not like spidery or super built up, it looks like. So I'm going to use this mascara that's a little bit more of like a natural mascara, but it does have really good length to it. This is the Wonder Beauty Unlashed Volume and Curl Mascara. So I'm going to go ahead and apply some of this to the upper lashes. When I first used this mascara, I didn't really like it, but now that it's drying out a little bit, I feel like it's really pretty, actually. I think she does have some lower lash mascara. I also can't tell if she has on any water. I also can't quite tell if she has on any eyeliner in the waterline. I don't think she does. I think it's just because she has on the mascara that kind of looks like that. I'm gonna leave it off and just put the mascara on the lower lash line. I don't think she has it on the lower lash line or on the waterline. I don't think she has any on the waterline from what I can tell. Wow, this mascara actually looks really good. See, I love how simple this is, like so classic with a little bit of a winged liner and then just some mascara, but it doesn't have anything like super focused on the eyeshadow. I always just want to dip into my eyeshadow, so when I do my makeup, I have a hard time not doing that, but I actually really love how my eyes look right now. So another thing that I'm noticing is that Haley does have a beauty mark on her cheek. I have one on my chin that she does not have. So I think I'm gonna try and like trade places a little bit. Of course, I could just emphasize the one that I actually have a little bit instead of adding one to the cheek, but I kind of want to put one on the cheek just to see if I like it. I don't know. I might hate it. We'll see. Something that sometimes I think of when I see this little, it's a freckle that I have on my face that I'm trying to cover up right now. When we got our wedding photos taken, our photographer was actually editing the photos, and she texted me one day and she was like, hey, I hope that this doesn't come across the wrong way, or like, she was like, basically, is that supposed to be there, or is it like a pimple or something that you want me to cover up? Because she was retouching a couple of the photos for us, and I was like, oh no, it's a freckle. But I didn't even know I had that freckle. I was so like unaware that that was on my face. When she asked me that, I had to like pull out my phone or a mirror or something and look, and I was like, oh no, yeah, it's a freckle. So she definitely left it in the photos just because, you know, I don't typically cover it up. Like every now and then I will if I have on a more full coverage base, but you can usually see it even now, you know, like it doesn't really completely go away because it's a pretty large freckle. But I honestly don't even notice it most of the time. I feel like my chin looks weird though now that I've covered it up. Okay, I'm gonna use my eyebrow pen and try to recreate it. I guess she has it on her right cheek. Okay, I feel like that doesn't look natural at all. I'm gonna try and kind of pat over it a little bit and see if that would make it look a little bit more natural. Nope. Oh boy, looks so bad. What have I done? I feel like that just looks like so unnatural. Oh my gosh. Cover it up, cover it up. Oh goodness. Hers definitely looks way cuter than my fake mark. I think I should have just kept my chin mark, which is already trying to peek through. I think it's slightly better since I put some blush over it. I guess I'm probably just used to it not actually being there. It looks more like a mole than a beauty mark, but okay. Okay, I'm touching up my highlight a little bit since I've pressed over my makeup so many times with the sponge. I think the last thing is going to be lips. Now it looks like maybe she just has like a balmy kind of gloss product on, but her lips seem to be a little bit more pink than mine. So I'm gonna play around with a couple different pink options and see what ends up looking similar to hers. Ooh, did I just get it on the first try? I think I just got it on the first try. This is the Catrice Powerful 5 Glossy Lip Oil. And I think this is the shade Blackberry. Yeah, Glossy Blackberry. I mean, I feel like that's pretty spot on to her lip product. Okay, just pretend that my hair is beautiful and curly and I have on a nice blue sweater that I'm sure she thrifted as well. And this is how my makeup look turned out. I'm actually surprised that I don't hate my brows like so bold. I definitely feel like this is a different makeup style than I typically wear, okay? Like the bolder brows, and then of course I have like my little fake beauty mark here to try and look like Hailey's with the black winged liner, and then just the peachiness of the look. I tend to go for something a little bit more mauve, so I'm really loving this. I feel like it's just a little bit different. And you know, as much as this is like my version of it, I honestly do have on a lot of makeup and it's really peachy in person, so I just wish I could show you guys that, but it's just not really, it's not showing y'all what it's looking like. Try and turn off some of the lights. No, it's just not doing it, guys. I don't know. You're going to take my word for it though. It is more peachy in person. Hopefully you can see here, you know? It's just a little bit more like bronzy, peachy in person than what I'm able to show you guys. So I don't know. Sometimes it's just nice to film from this angle because I don't have to sit away from the vanity and actually get to use the vanity, which is really helpful, but I'm not 100% on the lighting yet. So anyways, that is going to be it for today's video. I think this might be like one of my tip-top favorite random get ready with me topics. So yeah, I definitely am excited that I love this one so much. I think Hailey's look is absolutely stunning. Again, if you guys have never seen her channel, I'm gonna have it linked below. I really love her channel and all of her content. I don't think I've seen a makeup tutorial from her, so I definitely was just recreating one, but I would say that this was a very successful prompt from the random get ready with me jar. And I'm kind of considering putting it back in, but I have enough to cycle through, so I'll have to keep that in mind for when it needs a little bit of a refresh. But I really hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know down below, how did I do? All things considered, like with my skin tone, I know I'm not as tan as her, okay? This was a little bit challenging for me to recreate, but I think overall, like the vibes are pretty similar and I'm feeling really like happy with how my makeup looks. I would want to go thrift shopping in this makeup look. Too bad it's too late and all the thrift stores are closed, but that's all I've got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.